Okay, so everyone should be on remind. Everyone, hopefully, is on remind. If not, you can kick yourself later. So that's about the crux of it. Those of you who are returning from last semester, you know how it goes, but maybe you didn't make the best decisions. Okay, we even have a few of you that just straight up failed first semester. I was told by our administration that means you're done. See you again next year. I guess our guidance office is telling people that they can remain in the class, maybe at a certain percentage or something. I don't know. Um, like kind of like our credit recovery, where if you fail with a 50 plus, they'll let you go on to second semester, and then basically your fate hangs in the balance by the end of the year. Can you prove that you actually know what you're doing, that you've learned from the error of your ways and turn it around? Or do you just have to do the whole thing over now? Versus sometimes maybe if you fail with like a 40 or less, they'll just say, nah, bud, you ain't moving on. Okay, well, let's find something else to do. So I don't know. The guidance office kind of makes up their own rules, especially depending on what kind of story you have and what status or privilege you have. Um, but if if you're back in here, you know how it goes. Unfortunately, because of the amount of student transfer, since we have 2/3 of our class is going to be new kids, we got to run through all the rigmarole again. Hopefully, you actually listen if you were in here first semester, because well, first semester was a thing. Um, we're gonna let this just sink in for a bit. Okay, top graph. First semester's grades. Second graph is the amount of work that kids attempted. Not turned in late, not partial, just straight up attempted. Picked up the pencil and even tried. Half of the class decided that more than half of their work was optional. Everything that we did in class, our notes, our assignments, which are usually small if you're doing what you're supposed to, distraction free, 15, 20 minutes. 15 or 20-minute assignment every other day, I don't think is too bad. And they decided more than half of what they should do in the class to, learn the class, they didn't have to do. That's why we ended up with 7 out of 27 not making it across the finish line. Um, I I haven't had that happen in a long time. And I talked to our administration, and they just said, no, that's just freshmen. It's been a long time since I've had a freshman class. Um, and everything that I've heard is just, no, freshmen just don't want to do work. And then they fail, and then they have to retake classes as sophomores, and now all of a sudden it's real, and they figure life out, but maybe it took them a while. I don't want that to happen to any of you. I really don't. Especially if you hate math. If you hate math, my goal is to get you across the finish line so you can get it over and done with and move on with your life. How many of you are planning, all right, algebra half this year, algebra 1 next year? That is the minimum requirement to graduate, is that and one other math class. So then I'll do business math with Keeler my junior year, and I'll be done. I'm going to go drive a skid steer for the rest of my life, be perfectly happy. I'm all about that. If that is what you want, I want to get you across the finish line to get what you want. If you want to know a bunch of stuff so that hopefully you can move on to Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, maybe even College Algebra or Pre-Calc. Maybe we just started at Algebra half because we felt shaky on math. Maybe that wasn't even your call. Maybe it was your parents' call. Okay? Someone says, you know what? you need a little more practice before jumping into Algebra 1. And you want to buff up your knowledge so that you're good to go for later and you're headed all the way into a STEM field. We want that too. The number one thing about it, though, is y'all got to try. And turn your phones off before class starts. Hear a little Jawa from your pocket, right? Okay. So, this, bad. Very bad. I don't want to see that again. Okay? Give you an idea, my Algebra 2 and Pre-Calc. The other 2/3 of my students, I had, I think, 1 total D out of 45 kids. No Fs, everything C and above. The only difference was they showed up and they did work. Okay? Some of you came closer than you would like. Some of you did not cross the finish line and are only here by grace of an administrative technicality. I don't want that to be how things go for you the second semester. At the end of this semester, that's what's going on a transcript. That decides if you take this class again next year with other freshmen, or you get to move on with your life. Okay? See a lot of grunts and grumbles about only Algebra 1 and I'm done. Bro, if that's what you want, get it done now so you don't have to do it again. Okay? If that's your goal, make the goal happen. All right. We got that out of the way. We got Memeage. Who's my other kids? Everyone on Remind? We got kids in? Hey, a good number of you. Good job. All conversation. So, the reason I want you to be in there, yeah, we got Louisa. We stand Louisa. I want you to be in Remind because I'm going to use it for several reasons. One, I'm going to send out your assignment every day. Every day I send out your assignment and the link for this lesson video. When I say this lesson video, I mean literally right now, live on YouTube. Okay? Webcam's right there. Above, top, ceiling, middle. Okay? Y'all don't got to worry. It only points straight at the front right here. And it's just me pacing back and forth here next to a big honking screen of this board. So if you're gone for any reason, okay, got to help your folks out at the shop. You got to work. You're sick. You're out on quarantine. You are on a trip out of state. You are in an activity. We got any athletes here? Oh God, where's my track kids? Afternoon class in track is rough. Okay. Mr. Knight is really good about making sure that our track kids only miss usually 1 class per week. If you're gone for any reason, hit that like, smash that bell. We're on YouTube. Okay. It refreshed and got rid of it. Cool. Under our website, we have Remind, everything that I send out to people. We have the link to our playlist. So everything from all of first semester is here right now. Okay. And look at that. That's us. Okay. There I am. Hi. 10-second delay. If you are gone for any reason, everything's on YouTube. So that means right now, if you miss class, you go to Remind, you poke the thing, and alakazam, you got class. Okay? So, we definitely want you on Remind for that reason. Number 2, it's a tutor in a pocket. If you made it through the fire for first semester, How much is it beneficial if you can just ask a question? It doesn't have to be blood, sweat, and tears math. Just a simple question. Why is this negative? I did photo math on this, and it says it's 5. You said it's -5. Why? You take a picture of what you're working on, you send it to me, I scribble on it and send it back to you. Tutor in a pocket. If you're working on an assignment at 9:30 at night, you text me. I'm stuck on this one. Now you don't say, I'm stuck on 43. That does nothing. I'm nowhere near a textbook. But if you take picture of problem and send it to me, as long as I am conscious and not beset upon by my 2- and 4-year-old goblins, I will answer. I call them my spawn. Okay? They are quite the handful. Okay? What happens if you don't decide, all right, who's the kids that don't do their homework until like 11:30 at night? Be honest. Our game club Discord, I see who's still in there in voice chat at like midnight. Okay? I know. So what happens when you're doing your homework at 11:30 midnight and you want to ask a question, but you're like, well, I didn't want to text them because then like bother them or wake them up. Unlike your generation, I know how to silence my phone. When I sleep, it goes quite quiet. It goes night night. And then I will answer you at 5:45 in the morning while I'm sitting there checking messages and Baby Bear's propped right here sipping his chocolate milk and we're watching Encanto for the 12th time. Okay? No joke. 12 times this weekend. 12 times. That's 2 or 3 times a day, Friday through Monday, plus Thursday, plus this morning. We don't talk about Bruno. So, you want to be on Remind because I'm going to send out the assignment links. I'm going to send out the videos if you ever miss class. You get to ask questions on your stuff at any time. It's just when I answer is when I'm not beset upon by goblins and I'm conscious. So please make sure you're on there. In fact, your assignment today is just using Remind. I'm going to send out a link if you did the thing last semester. Too bad you're going to do it again. Some of you didn't do it the first time. It's just a way to make sure that everyone is on Remind and knows how to use it. I'm going to send out a link for I'm a Dork, I Run Game Club. And there's a color pie theory quiz. I'm really big on color pie theory. It was developed by Richard Garfield. He's a clinical psychologist who created a bunch of games back in the 90s, and then they're used for a lot of modern game design. It's a bunch of words. You poke the words that say, how strongly do I identify with this? Like right now, if I were to ask you, rage, how much is that you? Like, yeah, I get mad. I get mad a lot. You'd say like, yes, 5, that's me. Versus, nah, dude, peace, love, harmony. I'm a 1, not me. You do that with a bunch of words. It comes back with a result. You screenshot your results. You send it to me. Now I have proof that you are on Remind, that you can access the links that I send, that you can send me a picture. Now I have proof that not only can you access everything I send for the class, but you can also send me questions on Remind. Therefore, why didn't you do it all semester, sending me questions for your homework? Okay? And it does go in the gradebook as a completion only, just like your homework and notes. It will go in there for the first quiz. Okay? So everyone's got to be on Remind. If you're not on Remind, get on Remind. The page, our class website, if you don't already have it. Okay, just because it's up there doesn't mean you need to switch there. Screw you, Frank. Eh. All right. SullivanClasses.weebly.com. Make sure that you bookmark it because that's where everything is. It's got a direct link to your textbook. You all know about the little extension thing that brings you to Clever, but the online textbook is also just a button on there. Y'all, I agree. I am not a fan of the Pearson online textbook. I think you got to click way too many buttons to get where you're going, but it's what we got. Okay? That's also why I want to make sure y'all have a physical book. Not every other class has that. I know last semester I only let kids check them out if they wanted one for the night. We have enough for a classroom set in each room, and that's it. So if you don't pick up a book today, then I'm going to take like 2 of these, leave them on my shelf. I'm going to give the rest of them. I'm also incredibly uncoordinated. I'm going to give the rest of them probably to Skoglin or McCreary because they got the other Algebra Half and 1 classes. Okay? Sleep deprivation does that. Keep that in mind when y'all decide that you can start making babies. Okay? All right. Snowball coming around. Prom. We don't want prom babies. No prom babies. Okay. So, yeah, prom is ridiculous. Oh, God, the whole social ritual. Like, why do I need to spend $500 to have the experience? Right? Just, Anyway, on here we also have the Google Drive link. I think I was kind of slacking in Chapter 3 last semester, but I need to put Chapter 4 in here. But what should happen is within each of these folders in that Google Drive link, you should have not just, Frank, I hate you. The board's name is Frank. We call him Frank. We yell at Frank. Frank was a recalcitrant young man many moons ago. Frank was a senior in pre-algebra for the 4th year running. Needless to say, Frank was not intelligent or cooperative. Therefore, my board shall be Frank. So, I want you to take a peek at that. That's not just answers. That's solutions. The solution manual is posted. That means every homework assignment you do, it's not just, here's the answer, so I can check my answers. It's, here's the solution. Here's how you get to it. Basically, photo math in PDF. Okay? Now, the point of this isn't so you can copy stuff down and make it look like you did your assignment. Because guess what? If you copy it down to pretend like you did your assignment, that doesn't do diddly for you when it comes time for a test. Not a thing. Then we have that awkward conversation with your parents that says, how come all of their daily work are 100% and their tests are 50s? Said those are completion only and they can just copy the solutions from online. Well, why are these daily quizzes, why are those all 100%? They score them themselves. So they're just lying? Yup. And then the parents turn and stare at child and laser beams spontaneously combust. I actually had that happen. First semester parent-teacher conferences. I had some poor young gentleman sat right here in between his mom and his dad, and I laid all of this out that I'm saying for you right now, and they turn and looked at him, and you swear that he actually melted a couple of body sizes into the chair. Because I throw it on a silver freaking platter for you. You just have to do it. It's that easy. Okay? Now for our veterans who actually did stuff. Look to your elders. Okay? Sophie, Keely were absolutely great at having all their notes and work done. Yeah, you're now my class moms. Good job. Killian Saylor, we had some ups and downs, but I think we were getting there by the end. Okay, Ava. Come to class, kid. It's important for your education. Going, dude, try. No, it depended on the day, right? Yeah. Depended on how distracting that charming young lady was sitting next to you. So, I get it, man. I get it, but Come on now. Okay. On our webpage, we have, this is a, let's say your parents decide to actually parent and they take away your phone. However, what if there's a fire? What if someone dies and I need to call them? Ancient magic. They call the school. And then they call the room, and now you know. It worked for decades. It was great. You don't need your phone. If for some reason you get your phone taken away, or maybe you're just a klutz and you break it, okay? You know how many times you just try to take one thing out of your pocket and oops, and the other one goes, and now you got a shattered screen, right? This has a feed of everything that I send out to the entire class. I hope I didn't just break the screen. We're good. Okay. If I send it to the entire class, it's here. Okay. Now this is on pre-calc. Whoa, why is that on pre-calc? Okay, we got to fix that. The widget's broke. It should say this class. But everything I send out to the entire class will be there. Down below it will be plan book. I will also send out join codes for anyone who actually likes join codes and does the plan book thing. Otherwise, it's embedded in our website. You don't have to do join codes. I don't understand why we need to do join codes and logins and all that kind of crap for plan book. Why can't you just bookmark this? Ta-da, done. So that'll have all of our class stuff. Within it will be links to our solutions, links to the videos, links to everything that we're doing right now, and the assignments. So there's that. Okay. I really, really hate the first day because of all the blabbing. And if you are transferring in from Skoglund's, then you got to know it's going to run different here. Okay. Everyone's got their own flavor, though. I know there are kids who were absolutely thrilled for the day that they got to get out of my room and go to his. I know there's probably kids in this room right now who are like, why did I have to have this guy again? Okay. Deal with it. Okay. Everyone's going to have their own style preferences. So I got to run through all of it. If you're in here last semester, you heard it already. Short rundown of how the classroom runs. A. I don't speak German, but mi casa su casa, right? I don't speak Japanese either. Why are you laughing? So I'm going to treat you like an adult until you show me I can't. That simple. Okay? For those of you who were in here last semester, you know. You got to pee. Go! You're potty trained by now. You don't need to ask permission. Now, what you shouldn't be doing is disappearing for 15, 20 minutes in the middle of class every day. What you shouldn't be doing is heading to the corner over there to destroy all chaos. Okay, because we all know that bathroom, right? What we don't want is you disappearing for 15 minutes in the middle of class and come back all glaze-eyed. Okay? Smelling all skunky. Okay? We don't want you disappearing for 20 minutes so you can go watch BoJack Horseman on Netflix. Okay? I don't know, is that still on Netflix? Anyone know? Okay. What I want you to do is grow up. You're here to learn something. So be here to learn something. If you must relieve yourself, go. If you're hungry, eat. If you're thirsty, drink. Just don't spike it with anything. Okay? For anyone who hasn't been here before, if you're impulsive and got $1, Game Club appreciates your business. Throw $1 in the jar, grab Pop-Tart. Okay? That is literally Game Club's only fundraiser. I sell Pop-Tarts to impulsive teenagers. Okay? Y'all got to see the cashiers over at Walmart. When I walk by with a cart full of $150 of Pop-Tarts every 3 or 4 weeks, They're like, do you run a daycare? Yeah, kind of. Okay. Um, for 5 years straight, I had one of the Murray girls in my room. And every day there would be a girl sitting right here, first period math, mowing down a bowl of Reese's Puffs. The one over there that says locker, you can leave stuff in there. She kept her bowl and her spoon and her Reese's over there. Fridge and microwave are right there. You can use them anytime you need to. In the middle of class, you're going to see a upperclassman passed out on my couch. I'll have upperclassmen who just walk in, boom, blanket, don't move for the next 90 minutes because they got drama practice after school or whatever. And it's their open block and they can't go anywhere. So they can just do that. I'll have kids walk in the middle of my lesson as we're over here talking about linear equations. In comes Sage and she microwaves a bag of popcorn. I don't care. See, the idea is I want my room to be informal because I am incredibly informal. The idea of professionalism is just conformity to a antiquated type of behavior. I'm not a formal guy. Get comfy. How many of you come into math hating math? Okay? If you're already on edge because it's a topic that you have had bad luck with in the past, or maybe things haven't gone the best, or maybe someone, worse yet, made you feel like you're stupid because it didn't come easily to you, it's already pretty high stress. I want you to relax. If that means that you're going to go grab Taco Bell at lunch and you're going to come stash it in my fridge for fourth hour, and then you're going to microwave it at the beginning of class while we're doing our daily quiz, and then you're going to mow down tacos while we're doing systems, go for it. Make a mess, clean it up. It's that simple. My classroom isn't your bedroom. Clean it up. Okay? I got a fridge. Throw your 20-ounce in there. Throw your big Slurpee from lunch in there. Come back for it later. Get comfy because I want you on the subject. That also goes for taking care of basic needs. If you just missed lunch, life happened, drama happened. I wasn't. Go for it, bud. He's like, dude. Okay. Don't spit that on my table. Gross. Okay. That also goes for basic dignity, like I didn't have lunch today. You know, we broke up and I was in a sobbing mess in the bathroom stall. I had to run home and let my dogs out. We got a new puppy, and I wasn't able to get lunch. We have free food here, but if life just happens, that cabinet right there behind Heath says freebies. I've got quick, ready-to-eat meals in there, a couple of snacks, hygiene products. If you need it, take it, use it. Particularly, I hate that our girls' bathrooms still don't have anything for free in there to attain a basic body need. South Dakota sucks. Okay? Just want you all to know. Bunch of freebie stuff over there. Take what you need. Okay? Mow down your food. Get your drink on. Whatever it is. Okay? When I say that my room is, this house is your house, I mean it in every way. From 7:30 until 5 every day, if my room is open, kids are in here. This is just a typical lunch. That's just my class at lunch. I've got this many kids in here just hanging out, geeking out at lunch. Okay, you just came in here, right? You know what's up. So I want you to be comfortable. With that, I also say neurodivergent safe zone. Y'all see the little sign right next to the door when you come in. You're going to find out real quick, if you weren't in here last semester, I am very informal because I can't be formal. Okay? I am autistic and ADHD. That means my filter goes squirrel. It means I'm going to say and do things that I probably shouldn't. Deal with it. It means as I'm walking around the room, maybe I got my fidget on. Okay? Sensory stimulus. I need this to regulate my nervous system. I got a whole bucket of fidgets up there. I'm going to call out kids. Who in here right now? Where's my leg bouncers? Where's the toe tappers? Where's the I pick at my nails? Where's the I chew on my hair? Where are those folks? Okay? It's a need of your body. Your nervous system, your brain, your body are telling you, I need to do this thing to feel better. So do the thing. You just do it in a healthy way that hopefully isn't distracting other people. I'm going to say and do things that I shouldn't. I shouldn't because they make other people uncomfortable. If I'm walking around the room and I start hand flapping, if I'm really stressed and I need to just do a little bit of chest thudding like that, it's deep tissue compression. Okay? It is a cathartic release, and that's how my body regulates. I know this, and I can accommodate this in the classroom because I'm also a special education teacher. For 17 years now, I have either been a special education teacher or I ran a group home in Arizona for boys with emotional and behavioral disorders. If you got a story about a really effed up home life, I've probably heard it, and it was probably one of my boys. No joke. Everything from your parents used you as sex slaves to you were actually a gun runner across the Arizona border to I've been in 78 foster placements. I've heard it. Okay. I'm a co-sponsor for our GSA, our Gender and Sexuality Alliance. I've had kids that we had to get them out of Dodge. We had to have them leave the state because their parents were incredibly unsupportive to the point that it was just daily abuse and bigotry. Okay? I will help you do whatever you need to do to be successful. And that means you're going to have to put up with me being weird. It also means that in the middle of class, that bouncing ball is going to hit hard. Be in the middle of an assignment, doing a thing, and I'll be like, oh, hey, you remember this one part of Frozen because I live in Disney Hell? What? Never mind, math. Okay? Squirrel! It's going to happen. Okay? It's going to happen a lot. We get off task, we hop back on the rails. Okay, with that, I got very, very simple, basic rules. Number one, three of them, that's it. Number one, you will respect each other. And when I say you respect each other, I mean that in the purest sense of the form. This is South Dakota. South Dakota is known to be very bigoted towards marginalized populations. You will respect other people's choice of name and pronouns. You will respect other people's choices in life. If I hear anything racist, misogynist, sexist, anti-LGBTQ, I will kick you out of my room. That's simple. Take your hate elsewhere. You do not get to decide what another person's life and well-being and worth as a human is. Go! Take your hate elsewhere. We're on YouTube. I'll kick you out to the cabin. You can follow us on YouTube. Join Patreon. Okay? Respect each other. Okay? That is 100% line in the sand. That also goes for any number of conspiracy theories and misinformation that have been very prolific in the last few years. Vaccines help. They are the second most effective one ever created in the history of mankind. If you decide that you want to challenge that, go get a couple of doctorates and then talk to the people who made it. Okay? I won't allow that misinformation.
It is not debatable that scientific fact exists. There's a difference between that's your opinion and you are willfully spreading misinformation that hurts people. I will not allow that in my room. Okay? And I know in South Dakota, sadly, that's the minority opinion. South Dakota's got its head in the sand. Okay? Second one. I have certain sensory stimulus seeking and aversion behaviors. You notice all these lights are off. They're not just off, I pulled the bulbs out of them because they're too bright. It's too bright to be in here. Like right now, just having all these lights on is too bright. Those of you that were in here first semester, when was the last time that you saw this board not inverted? I invert the colors on my board because it's too bright to stand by that board all the time. It hurts my eyes, it gives me a headache. Right now, from standing up and blabbing all day and from being next to big, bright, shining white light in my face, my head is throbbing. Okay? That also means, and I have to have this discussion a little more with freshmen, smells. Y'all. Like, I know my nerds do not have the best hygiene. That's a fact. Every day when I leave my room after a Spartan time or a game club, I have to turn on my de-stinker, and I have our custodian let it run all night. Okay? I'm in a concrete box in the center of the school. I don't got open windows. So if you smell like roadkill, I'm kicking you out. That also goes double for if you think that the substitute for bathing is to hose yourself down in Axe because it'll get me a mate, because that's what the commercial told me. No. A, it doesn't. B, now you smell like swass and a can of Axe. And 3, that's going to make my chest hurt, my eyes water, distract the living crap out of me, and I cannot function with you in the room. It is not personal. I will kick you out. It is 100% not personal, I swear. But someone having too strong a cologne or perfume or something on, it's like a donkey kick to the chest. My eyes are red and watering. It feels like I'm going to have a heart attack from my lungs collapsing. I'm a double med asthmatic. Like, it is health and safety to get you out of the room if you're going to go take a bath in that. Who's got PE white days? Showers are good, spray can bad. Okay? You can put a little sauce on, like mild sauce from Taco Bell, not ghost pepper. Okay? Little sauce, not a lot of sauce. And it is not personal. I want to give you an idea of how much that affects me. You all saw the smoke this summer. The half the country on fire, all the smoke. How hazy it was. How you probably right here in town, there were days you couldn't even see Crow Peak, right? On normal days, normal times, right now, my daily control med does just fine. I have that. I use my inhaler or my rescue inhaler maybe once a month. I was taking it 6 to 7 times a day because of the smoke just to breathe. And I was coughing out crap for the next 2 months. Imagine what the fog of pheromones around you does to me. Imagine what a respiratory virus would do to me. Okay? There's a reason I was the only teacher in the district with a mask mandate last year. It's because I fought tooth and nail for it. Because I watched 95% of our building not give a flying. I watched people walk by me as it could have killed me. Okay? A month ago. Uncle didn't do what he was supposed to. He's dead. Okay? Grandpa on my wife's side. He's dead. They didn't do what they were supposed to. Last year, that could have been me. So, when it comes time for me to kick a kid out because I say you got a little too much sauce on there, bud, that is nothing personal. That is my health and safety. Okay? Respect each other. Roll with the punches when it comes to the sensory issues. And 3, the one that's often overlooked, be nice to yourself. Respect yourself. I can guarantee that pretty much everyone in here has made that statement. I'm just dumb. I can't do this. I suck. I'm just an idiot at math. That's all. None of that is true. None of that is true. What happens is we struggle at something, and then someone makes us feel bad about ourselves because we didn't do it perfectly and easily on the first try. Especially there's that gifted to burnout pipeline where kids are told that they're smart. You're told that you're so clever, you're so sharp, you have so much. How many times have you heard the word potential? And then when something doesn't go easily or doesn't go well, now it's a personal failing. Or worse yet, a teacher made you feel that way. A teacher said, I just said it 5 times. What don't you get about this? And you feel like trash. Okay? And you internalize that, and then you start calling yourself that because you can only be told a certain thing for so long before you believe it. And that includes stuff about yourself. I don't want to hear you bagging on yourself. I don't want you saying, well, I'm probably stupid for asking this, but, and then ask a question. Just ask the question. Okay? That's my student you're talking about. Be nice. I don't ever want you to treat yourself that way, just like I wouldn't let someone else treat you that way. There you go. 3 things. Be a decent human being. Deal with the weird guy. Don't be a jerk to yourself. You do those 3 things, I am not joking when I say my room does not stand on formality. Okay? I do not stand on formality at all. I want you to be comfortable in here. That also means I ain't the phone Nazi. Okay? You've been in that class where, everyone, okay, put your phone in the little cubby over here. You know where I hear that kind of, put your thing over in the cubby. You know where I hear that? I'm dropping my kid off at preschool every morning. In a few short years, you are going to be either in college or in the workforce. And in that environment, you are going to have so many distractions. You're going to have your phone, maybe a desktop computer, maybe you have different equipment around you. You're going to have other employees. You're going to have your own life crap to deal with. You're going to have your baggage that you bring into that environment, and you got to manage that. How am I going to do that if I take away your phone every day? How are you going to learn how to properly do that every day? See, my class is a catch and release. We walk through a thing, I show you a thing, ask questions about the thing, I say, okay, I want you to do number 1 and 2, go. And now I'm walking around the room, and I want you asking questions. Sometimes it's difficult to ask a question to the entire group. Not everyone feels comfortable speaking out in front of 20 other kids. So I'm coming around and I'm helping whoever I can, whoever's got questions. We're set up like a Senate chamber for a reason. I want you talking to each other. I want you arguing about the math. Okay? Do I want you talking about, but I got my new running boards in. You want to come over after school so we can put those on? No, shut up. Do math. Now, as soon as you're done with the math, by all means, have fun. Okay? I'm coming around the room asking questions, and then we're coming back up here and doing it again. Well, what happens if in the middle of that, I'm up here helping you 2, and maybe you 2 were done like 3 minutes ago? Did you do what you were supposed to? You did the thing, right? You're following along with the notes. You did the practice problem. You checked it. You know you're right. All right. Get those streaks. Have fun. I don't care. As long as you are attending to your responsibilities in class. If you are doing what you're supposed to, great. What we don't want is you distracting other people. Now, if you're over here playing like Retro Bowl next to your buddy who's trying to figure stuff out, not so much. Like, how about you help the guy next to you instead of distracting him? Okay? I am not joking I want you to learn how to use it appropriately. I'm a gamer. I run Game Club. Before I had kids, I played Clash of Clans competitively because I gave up consoles, so I went over to mobile. Okay, I kind of fixate on things. I'm not going to take it away if it's not a problem. I want you to feel comfortable in here. Now, if we're actually doing math and you're back here doing whatever, as long as you're not distracting anyone, I will let you. You know what's going to happen? You're going to get to a couple of tests. Put them in the grade book. We're going to send out the report card at the midterm, and the comment in there is going to be, put away your phone. That's why you have a D. Am I wrong? Y'all think, why do you think you're so clever? When I see a kid doing this, your head's down on the desk and you're staring at your crotch. It's not that interesting. Okay? When you're slumped over like this, you're not sneaky. It's a table. I see under it. Okay? Just, you're here to learn stuff. Learn stuff. If you got a little break in between stuff, have fun. I don't care. I usually got a window open with the Viking bubble pop game. It's just a dumb little game, shooting balls in the air and they explode. I'm ADHD. Whee! Okay, my attention span is it's like a ferret on meth. I need that. Okay? I'm actually finally, at age 37, finally looking into getting meds for that too. Wait a second, you mean all of this stuff, it isn't my fault, it's because my brain actually just works like that? Yeah, genius. Not a genius. Close, not a genius. Gradage. Again, if you haven't been here before, here's how it works. 10% is your final. It's not worth much, it's just a border buster. Okay? We've got someone in this room who did horrible on their final and still managed to pass the class after doing less than half of their work for the semester. Okay? It's not worth much, but it is that last hurdle you have to jump through. Okay? How many of you ran into that policy about your absences? Okay, 5 or more absences, you got to pass the final to get credit for the class. Even if you pass the class, you might have to go back and take it again because you bombed the final and you were gone too much. Okay, these are things that are out of my control. So I do have to have a final no matter what. Next up, 10%. Homework and note completion. Okay, where's my athletes at again? Okay, wrestling, football, like legit in wrestling right now. Okay, wait, aren't you guys done? Wasn't state this weekend?
No, state's February 24th.
What was the big thing this week? Because I saw Taylor and Mariah got first again.
Conferences.
Oh, conference. Okay. God, those two were beast mode. I love those two. So 10% is just homework and note completion. If you've ever been in the sport, you all know what Hell Week is. Hell Week is that beginning of the season. Everyone's a little bit out of shape. They're going to run you ragged. People are dragging all over the floor. There's at least 2 kids who are going to puke in practice. Okay? Do you want that on your season record? You're just getting it figured out. Why would that be a part of your record, right? I believe that way about homework. Now, we had 1 or 2 individuals last semester who had enough native talent, enough ability, that they were able to not do a flippin' thing for most of the semester and still walk out of here with a C. I'm not joking, something like a 17% homework completion rate. Got the highest grade on the final. And this individual or these two individuals, were telling everyone else, no, you don't need to do your work. Seriously, don't do your work in Sullivan's room. And then all the kids who needed that extra practice, you can about imagine what happens. Okay? It did not go so well. Okay? Fair does not mean equal. Everyone needs different levels of support, different levels of practice. That practice, that 10% of your homework and notes, that is completion only, and that's just something I can throw in the grade book to say you are doing what you're supposed to learn the content. Our notes in class are fill in the blank. Oh wait, no, that was a quiz thing. It's fill in the blank. It's whatever I have up here is what's on the paper in front of you. You've all went through first semester. You know how high school classes can be. The one where you're just taking notes for 90 minutes. You don't even know what you wrote by the end of class. You were just struggling to keep up for 90 minutes. That isn't learning. That's dictation. That's like old school court reporter with a typewriter. You're just writing down what they said and they're hoping it sticks by osmosis. That's not how real learning works. Instead, the notes that we have in here, back and forth, catch and release. I show a thing, you write down the example. You put notes next to the example. I have you do these two practice problems. I ask you, how are we feeling about this? You got the thumbs pages. It's like the old Roman emperor thing, right? He lives. Actually, I run it as, I'm good, I got this, I am confident. I'm a little bit fuzzy, I should probably do one more because, like, I get the idea, but why? Why is that always squared at the end? Okay, a little fuzzy. Or I have no freaking clue what's going on right now. And I visually just ask everyone, all right, how we feeling? It takes a lot of guts to say, I do not understand this. It does not take a lot of guts to just kind of do one of these and hope no one notices. Because if I see 2 or 3 kids do this, I know there's easily 3 times that much who feel the same way. And we do more practice. And back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And we do that for 90 minutes. You don't have homework time in here. That's why your assignments are so small. I want to get as much practice as possible in class so that when it comes time for the actual assignment, when it comes time for the quiz, you did what you needed to in here. The homework is extra practice to show yourself that you can do it without someone holding your hand, without the training wheels. Okay? It's really easy to follow along. It's very tough to do it on your own. Just because I watch someone else play a guitar doesn't mean that I am ready to have a concert. But I watch so many Hendrix videos, dude. Like upside down, left-handed because he, couldn't afford the right-hand one. This is great. And then I go and pick up a guitar and it sounds like someone's skinning a moose. Just because I watch someone else do it doesn't mean that I can do it. That's what homework is for. It's independent practice. Your homework and your notes you turn in with every quiz, it is simply, did you do it or not? Completion, yes or no. There is no reason that that should be under 90%. I say under 90 because sometimes life happens. Sometimes you got to triage. You ever gotten on the bus late? You go do a basketball game, wrestling tournament, track practice, whatever it is, and you don't even get home until 9, 9:30, 10? And then you have 3 hours of homework waiting for you? That ain't fair. Hey, remind is a thing. Text me. We're just getting on the bus now. Probably not getting to my homework. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Get her done when you can. And that's it. You have a life outside the building. Live it. 10%. Daily quizzes. Daily quiz is at the beginning of every class. You're going to come in here and there's going to be a problem or two up here that are middle of the road, C-level problems from yesterday's stuff. You grade them in here in class. You score them yourself. Again, you want to be honest with them. Something out of 5. If you're getting 4 or 5 out of 5 on a regular basis, you know what you're doing. You're good. Keep doing what you're doing. You hit a 3 out of 5. You need to sit up and pay attention. Maybe need to ask a question or two in class as I'm coming around. Ask some more questions about homework problems. If I have 2, if you get a 2 out of 5, you screwed up. You screwed up bad. You need to come in and ask questions. Stay after class. You're white 4. If you're white 4, what's wrong with staying after for 10, 15 minutes? Making sure you get a few things. And then 1, well, you have something that resembles math on your paper. You tried. It wasn't even in the same zip code. Good job. But you at least tried. Okay? What happens when you have, instead of getting 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 on a regular basis, what happens when you're down to 2 or 3? Well, ask questions. What happens when you're BSing it? When you're just writing down what I put up here to make it look like you're getting 4 or 5 out of 5 every day? And then we go and have that conversation with your parents. Well, they've got 100% on all their homework and notes. The notes, you just copy what's in class. The homework, the solutions are posted online. You can copy every bit of it without ever paying attention. But their daily quizzes, those are all 100%. They score them themselves. Why are those all 100%, but their tests are all 50s? If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, tell you what, it ain't a velociraptor. Okay? The part that gets kids is when it really matters. That's your tests. 70% of your grade is your tests. Over the course of the semester, we'll have 5 to 7 of them. It's every 5 days of instruction, we do a quiz or a review and quiz. You don't get the giant haymaker to your grade. By now, you've all probably been in a class where you are working on a project for a month. You're working on a unit for a month, and then there's that big test. There's that big project, that big paper, and this guy comes up with a clown hammer and just wrecks your grade out of nowhere because this one thing is worth 5 times as much as everything else you've done for the semester. In here, it's every 5 days. We do a quiz. A review and a quiz in class. A lot of kids will freak out hearing that 70% of their grade is tests. Actually, if you include our daily quizzes and our final, it's 90. Well, but that's where I get all my points all the time, is I do all my work. That's just what you're supposed to do to learn the material. I want to see, do you know how to do the material? But what you do get is a review that looks just like the test immediately before we do the test. Our veterans, you know how this works. You come in, we do our normal daily quiz like any other day, homework questions like any other day, and then review, quiz. This is from pre-calc. Okay. I said I don't do a seating chart. Don't make me regret this on day 1. Okay. Review, quiz. Number 1, graph 2 periods of a tangent or cotangent function. Number 1, graph 2 periods of a tangent or cotangent function. This is from pre-calc. That's it. If number 1 looks like this, number 1's going to look like that. If you've been in here, you know how this works. Your review looks exactly like your quiz. It's just different numbers. And we do it right before you take the test. I say, hey, y'all remember Wednesday? Cool. Do another problem. Y'all remember Thursday? Y'all remember Friday? Y'all remember Tuesday? Guess there was a 3-day weekend. Y'all remember Wednesday? Hey, you remember this stuff from 2 months ago? Like, I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. That's okay. I'm going to review it right now so you remember. We got to keep the stuff fresh. Y'all good? You're great? Awesome? Cool. Phone's on the counter. Here's your quiz. Open notes, open everything. So that review that you just did right before the test, you get to use the review that looks just like the test on the test. You get to write stuff on the review that looks just like the test on the test you're about to take. Why not tell myself on number 4, don't forget your labels? Why not put a note next to number 5 saying, don't square like a freshman? Okay. Oh, wait, no, this is algebra half. You're not going to get to binomials yet. You write notes on there and you tell yourself how to do the test. Open notes, open book, open everything, review it right before you do it, write notes on there to tell yourself how to do it. You could theoretically just completely space out for a week and lock it in on review day and do decent on the test because you did it right before you did the test. That sound like it's not bad for 70% of your grade is tell myself how to do it? Now you need to know how to do it. You will be as fully supported as I can possibly make you, but you still have to do it. That also goes for alternate assessment. Okay? I told you, what we got? 5 days instruction, review quiz. Review right before it. Open notes on everything. Oh, there's no due dates. Some of you found this out last week. I had kids turning stuff in from September last week. I'll take it. It's not going to move the needle like you want it to, but I'll take it. If you want to turn, you know what, sometimes life happens. I'm out for a week. How many of you have been gone in the last, I don't know, 2 years, and you were out for a week? You're out sick, quarantine, something like that. You come back, and what greets you when you come back? A grade book full of zeros and 7 teachers saying, "Gimme now." That ain't fair. That's not realistic. Now, you're asymptomatic and you're at home just because you have to so you don't make other people dead. All right, you should probably do the work. We're live right now. Watch the video. Try to keep up. Ask questions on Remind. But if you're at home sick, if life is happening, okay, mom and boyfriend split up and we have to move real quick this weekend because he's a raging jerk. Why are you doing math? Take care of your life first. Take care of your family first. Take care of your siblings. Take care of your mom, your grandparents. I was up until 2 working on my English project that's due tomorrow. That's half my grade. Then don't do your math. You text me and you say, had some other stuff come up. It got wild this weekend. Can I do my homework during Spartan time tomorrow? Gotcha. You all know what it's like if you space out for 10 minutes during class. Even if you can follow what's going on for the rest of class, you still feel like you're chasing the bus, right? Like, I know what's going on. I can follow what's going on, but I can see the bus. I'm not in it. What happens when you miss a day of class? What happens when you miss 3 days of class? You all know that math scaffolds. You miss 3 days of class, you are screwed until you make that material up. So I say, make it up whenever you can. I know you got to do it eventually. If you don't, you're just hosed later. I try to provide you with that flexibility, which includes no due dates. If you just talk to me. Now, if you decide to just not do anything for a month, that's different. If you send me a quick text like, hey, I got some family stuff came up, you don't have to tell me anything more than that. You don't have to tell me any details. Had some family stuff come up this weekend. I'm not ready for tomorrow's test. Could I do it on Thursday instead during Spartan time? Yes. Thank you for advocating for yourself. Okay? No, it's then five, Good Samaritan option. Okay, no one got the Good Samaritan option first semester, which is not surprising given no, one person did, given the small amount of homework that was completed. Like I said, last semester, 27 freshmen in here, and half of them decided that more than half of their work didn't need to be attempted, including their in-class notes. They just sat here. Why would you sit here for 90 minutes every other day and just stare at the wall without at least trying something? Extra credit doesn't exist. Number of kids that come to me in the last 2 weeks saying, hey, I'm at this, how can I get my grade up? The response, do better on the final. Or I put in the final and they're like, I'm at this, what can I do to bring my grade up? Invent time travel. Like, extra credit doesn't exist in here because it is artificial grade inflation. Artificial grade inflation has nothing to do with your grade, but brings it up to where it shouldn't be. Example, how many of you know that class where pretty much everyone you know got a 50 on the test? No one has any idea what's going on. But because you all dressed up for homecoming and brought Kleenex, you got a B. Okay? Someone's had that teacher. I don't do anything like that. You want to do better? Ask questions. Do better notes. Engage in class. Ask things on Remind. You're not comfortable asking in class right now? I got Remind open on my other screen here. As I'm going around and checking stuff in the room, I'm also going to pop over here to my desk, and maybe it turns out that Keely just didn't want to ask the question to everyone in the room. She just didn't want to say it. I just didn't want to say it. Like, I hate half of these people. I don't want to talk around them. So she texts me instead and says, hey, can you go back to example 3? I was really lost. Okay? If you are willing to engage, then I will help you here. If you are doing all of that, if you are doing 80% or more of your homework and notes, I say 80% because I understand life happens. Going into the final, you get a higher grade on the final than your grade going into the final, that's your new grade. Grade replacement. Meaning, you've been doing your homework, you've been following along with your notes, you've tried asking a question before school, after school, lunch, Spartan time. My prep is maroon or white 3 right before this. You try to engage. You did what you were supposed to. Congratulations, you are a good student. You're going into the final. You're sitting at a 81. I really, really, really need a B because then my parents will go halfsies with me on a car this summer. If I get all B's or better, they'll go half and half with me on a car. I really want a car. I want a car. I want a car. I want a car. Okay. Get a B or better on your final, and that'll be your grade. The prime example I had was a kid, Toby Kinslow. Fun dude. Graduated several years ago. He was in my pre-calc class. Kid had never seen anything below a 98 in his life. Smart kid. Going into the final, he's sitting at an 89. Absolutely messing his huggies. Like, didn't know what to do. I said, bud, you did all your work. You were asking questions. You were engaged in class. Good Samaritan option. He aced the final. You know what he did when I said, you got 100 on the final. You know what that means? What? You have 100 for the class. And you could hear him screeching all the way down the hallway into the comments. I could hear him in the comments from here, screaming like the guy at the end of It's a Beautiful Life or Wonderful Life or whatever, screaming out to the neighborhood out dancing in the snow. The guy was just ecstatic, screaming out there in the comments. He got 100 for the class because he got 100 on the final. You get the same thing. If you do the work. You put in the work ahead of time. You get a higher grade on the final than your grade going in. That's your grade. Good job. Because you showed me on a cumulative assessment at a later date that you understand it better. For those of you who just took the final, cumulative final means it covered everything, right? I had a problem. Number 1 on your final was from the first day of class. Number 18 on your final was from the last lesson that we did. Everything in between. You show me on that you understand. You go in with a 70 and you get a 95 on it. Cool, you got an A for the class. Good job. Final is also open notes, open everything. We do a review before it that looks just like it. So, for those of you who are transferring over here, do you feel like that ain't so bad? I hope. Open notes, open calculator, open everything, ask questions, tutor in a pocket, review right before every test. And I can hit up the gas station at lunch and just sit here eating like a friggin' raccoon during class. Yes. Have fun. I want you to be comfortable. I want you to be relaxed because I want you to focus on the content, not on everything else around it. I hate day 1 because of how much I have to blather on. I really do. When you come in on, how is it? Thursday. Today's Tuesday. Thursday. On Thursday, when you come in, you're going to get a new note packet. It's going to be chapter 4. It's going to be about that thick. Don't freak out. That is every example we're going to do for the entirety of chapter 4. It's going to cover about a month and a half. Have it in a safe spot. Don't lose it. You should have a notebook or a binder that you can keep your daily quizzes and your assignments in. It isn't too hard to have a notebook that has all of your homework in it and your current packet of notes and jam it in there, and on quiz day, you throw that up on the counter. And I just check through it for completion. That's it. Okay? Second semester, we're going to dive into graphing now. Okay? We're going to hit linear equations pretty hard. I strongly recommend, especially for those of you who have trash handwriting, you know who you are, that you get yourself some graph paper notebook. Those 2 stacks up there are graph paper and dot paper notebooks. They're $1. Skip a Pop-Tart for a day. Buy a notebook. Okay? I just have them here so that you don't have to go run to the store. But you need graph paper for second semester. Okay? If you don't got $1, and I do have families where that extra $1, that actually matters. That really does matter. You should never have to pay anything for anything in public education. I will always have spare graph paper over there. Is that any of the mousetrap cars? Did any of you from that's only like freshmen and sophomores that do that. Is that any of yours? All right. You're going to need a graph paper notebook. If you got $1, I got the books up there. Calculator. For second semester, because it was a little bit of an issue, please get yourself a scientific calculator. If you do not have one, I have the graphers over there. You know what? The bumblebees, those will practically do your taxes. They are way more complicated than you need in this class. Get a decent scientific. Okay? These. I'm in love with these. $18. It will do everything those will and more besides the graphing. These will do Calc 1. Calculus. College classes. $18. It'll simplify radicals for you. It will, you name it. This will get you all the way through high school. Okay? There's a $10 Casio like that. Okay? Stay with me. Those who have been in here before, what did I not go over? Because I really hate day 1, and I'm burnt out by the end of White 4.
I don't know. I wasn't here first semester, but did you say we're going to do a online quiz or something?
I will send that out as soon as we're done here, yes.
Did it go over brownie points?
Of course you would call that out. Keely was like the champ last semester. All right.
What's fair to start freshmen at? No. All right. Last semester, it took you the entire semester to get to 20. I'll start you at 15. All right. They got it. They got it the week of finals. Okay, algebra half, we're going to start you at 15. Okay, if you've ever been in Work or McCreary's class before, or no, Work's up here. Did any of you have McCreary in middle school? No? Okay, well, Browning Point's pretty simple. You've had the math teacher that makes the mistake, and then they say, well, I was just seeing if you were paying attention. They're lying. That is BS. We're humans. We make mistakes, same as anyone else. You catch me in a mathematical mistake up here. You catch it before I do. I missed a negative. I distributed wrong. I reduced it wrong. I did something, and you caught it before me. Brownie point. I cap it at 3 a day so that I don't go crazy, because the little leprechaun on your shoulder that tells you that you're worthless the more mistakes you make. You know, you make a mistake and you feel bad, and you make another mistake and now you're angry, and you make another mistake and then you put a hole in the wall, and then you make another mistake and it's screaming at you, you suck, give up on life. Okay, I cut him off at 3. Otherwise, I will snowball pretty bad. You hit 15 brownie points, I bring in brownies. My wife knows how to cook. Okay? She enjoys baking with my youngest. Like, I will send her a text, the freshmen got their brownies, and within a half hour, she'll send me a picture of him licking beaters. We don't put it back in the brownies. It's okay. Okay? But yes, brownie points. Call me on it. I want you paying attention. I want you getting me. Smaller class like this means each of you is going to walk out of here with a brick slab about that big. Homemade. Okay? What else?
I think you nailed it pretty good.
God, I hate day 1. God, this sucks. Okay, I'm going to send out a thing on Remind. If you're not on Remind, do it right now. Okay? I'll send that out. That is your first homework assignment. Do the quiz. If you have a poor vocabulary, you should probably have a Google or dictionary tab open so you know what the words are. If I say serendipitous and you go, huh? You might want to have that out.